Yeah, yeah. Uno, dos, tres, pasa el guaro. Y sin estrés, que caro. Te gustan los chicos malos. Y se te ve que ella es como Jordan. Facilito las anota. Y ella se le ve la nota. Que se mueve como loca. Ella es como Jordan. Facilito las anota. Y ella se le ve la nota. Que se mueve como loca. Yeah. Esa Julieta no necesita su Romeo. A esas caderas todo le creo. Ya está, esta manera de perreo. Bájale al fuego porque esto se puso feo. Aquí un paisita con la de Ponce. Ella la mala y apelando el bronce. Yo flow Maluma, tu flow Beyoncé. Yo pega esto pa' que sientas el roce. Con su flow, gemelita de J-Lo, de J-Lo, de J-Lo. Nunca le dice que no, a que no, a que no. A perrele reggaetón, ton, reggaetón, ton. Con su flow, gemelita de J-Lo, de J-Lo, de J-Lo. Nunca le dice que no, a que no, a que no. A perrele reggaetón, ton, reggaetón, ton. Ella es como Jordan, facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota, que se mueve como loca. Ella es como Jordan, facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota, que se mueve como loca. Yo le doy un flow a mi bebé la pupi. Le doy un guarito pa' que deje el tutti frutti. Pa' que no se estrese y solo me va a hacer booty. Izquierda, derecha con su movimiento sutil. Los noquea como lo haya en el ring. Nunca pasa moda como la era de los memes. De toda la peli ella es la mejor sin. Debe destacar y eso que no usa Supreme. Con su flow, gemelita de J-Lo, de J-Lo, de J-Lo. Nunca le dice que no, a que no, a que no. A perrele reggaetón, ton, reggaetón, ton. Con su flow, gemelita de J-Lo, de J-Lo, de J-Lo. Nunca le dice que no, a que no, a que no. A perrele reggaetón, ton, reggaetón, ton. Ella es como Jordan, facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota, que se mueve como loca. Ella es como Jordan, facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota, que se mueve como loca, baby. Presentando pa'
Hello. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Can everyone hear me okay? Hope everybody is doing good. Well, today was day one of the trial. And some of the information is still a little bit all over the place for me. So Harry didn't show up. I believe he wasn't like obliged to show up today, but the judge wanted witnesses to come today, but there was issues with like Harry's security still. Like it's crazy that even to come to this trial, he's still having issues with security, but I guess that was the whole point, right? To make it so difficult for him. But I'm gonna try and piece together as many of the details as I can for us today, so we can go through, and also day one of the trial summary and highlights. So just bear with me one sec. There is what I'm going to do is I'm going to post this. This is from The Guardian. This is actually a very, very detailed summary, but I'm not going to go through the whole thing in detail because it's quite long. I'm just going to read the highlights later on. Oops. Bit of background noise. Oh, Pele Scott, a member for 12 months. Amazing. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. So that's the Guardian article. So after the podcast or while you're listening to me, you can read that in full detail, but I will skim over it. But the day has finally come. Tomorrow, Tuesday, Harry will be taking the stand. And goodness knows what he's going to say. I feel like this is the day that Harry has been preparing for his whole life. Oh, we've got Queen Bee 1118, also a member for 10 months. Thank you so much. You are so very much appreciated. Thank you. Okay, before we get into royal news, in me news, this is what I was up to yesterday. I went to Rainbow Hills. Yes, there are actually rainbow. You can actually see the Rainbow Hills here. This is a cave that was near a monastery. But I went to some Rainbow Hills, and I didn't know that there were any Rainbow Hills in Georgia. I thought they were only in Peru and China, but there are Rainbow Hills in Georgia. So if you ever want to see them, you can come see them in Georgia. And then we went to a monastery, and then we went to a cave, which is what you can see here. This cave was on the top of a monastery, and those sausage-like things that almost look like hair extensions in some pictures are actually a type of Georgian sweet. It's called Church Keller. I think that's how you pronounce it. And it's like Snickers. So if you ever come to Georgia, you will see these everywhere. And also just make sure if you want to follow me on my travels, you can go to my Insta and the Nomad, or go to my travel channel and the Nomad. Valerie, love the boots. Yeah, do you know I actually got the boots for like €5. I got them when I was in Lisbon. They were on discount. I don't like to spend too much money on clothes. I'd rather spend it on experiences. Yeah, when I posted the picture on Insta, a lot of people thought that they were hair extensions, but no, they're actually sweets. Right. So who's my photographer? I usually just get the tour guide with the person in the shop to take the photos, but I also have like a remote control, a Bluetooth remote control, so I can control my camera from a distance. And then I put my camera on a mini tripod. Right, on to royal news. Philip Schofield. So Philip Schofield, in a statement, said that in an effort to protect my ex-colleague, I haven't been truthful about the relationship, but my recent unrelated departure from this morning fueled speculation and raised questions which have been impacting him. So for his sake, it is important for me to be honest. Now he's saying that he quit, but ITV, the way it was put, it was like ITV made him step down. To be honest, I think everybody's just trying to cover each other's backs in this situation. I think that they're walking a very tight rope because they have to make sure that they are not too brazenly supporting him. So they've had to kind of say, you know what, you have to leave. But they're also making sure not to attack him too much because a lot of these people, let's be honest, have skeletons in their own closet. And it's just been really, I mean, what can you even say? To see the morning shows, to see the tabloids defending this individual. He made a conscious choice to have a relationship with a much, much, much younger individual. You know, even if he'd just had an affair, which is in itself still bad. But if he had an affair maybe with a slightly older person who was more age appropriate, yes, it would still be disgusting that he had an affair. But I don't think people would have reacted in the way that they have. It's the fact that this person is obviously who's involved in this much younger, and it's just so inappropriate. And to see them defending someone who is allegedly for the lawyers listening, a groomer, this is not the way that um we should be conducting ourselves as a society. We're meant to pile on and pile down on problematic individuals. We're meant to do that. We're meant to make their life hell. Like, I'm sorry, but we are. Because if we don't, we're sending the message that it's okay to do these things, right? Actions are meant to have consequences. And I will not buy into this idea that by piling onto Philip Schofield and letting him have it, we are bullying or we're pushing a man to the brink. Like, no, we as a society, if we're going to function properly, if we're going to protect our children, if we're going to protect vulnerable individuals, we are meant to pile on. That's what we're meant to do. So this whole pity party for someone who has clearly done something wrong is just unbelievable to me. And here I have a periodic table of pests. I expect you all to memorize this because I will be doing a science exam. I will be asking you what a Roomba of rattlesnakes looks like, and a den of snakes, and a culture of bacteria, and a scrounge of mosquitoes, and I expect you to know what they look like according to this periodic table of pests. Right. To your comments. Just give me a sec, folks. But yeah, let's pray for Harry. Tomorrow's the day. No word on where he's staying. I can only assume that, someone has stepped up to the plate and been helpful and let Harry stay somewhere. I don't know, maybe he's at Elton John's house, who knows? But I hope he's somewhere safe. Yeah, Rahini, these Sikol men deserve to face consequences, for sure. And the fact that this has, been 2 weeks? He can't take for 2 weeks what Meghan has put up with 7 years? Please. Don't give me none of that. Okay. Next thing. Right, with Harry's case. So this is from Rebecca Barry. And this is just like a quick summary of some of the things that happened, that were said today. And then I'll go through the Guardian article. So, sitting in a packed courtroom as barristers are about to begin opening speeches dealing with Prince Harry's case against Mirror Group newspapers, the publisher is accused of widespread and habitual phone hacking and blagging, causing him huge bouts of depression and paranoia. Prince Harry is due in court tomorrow, the first time in more than a century that a senior royal will enter the witness box. The Duke of Sussex flew in yesterday evening from LA after attending his daughter's birthday. There's discussion in court about when Prince Harry will arrive. His barrister says his travel and security arrangements make it trickier. He's expected here tomorrow to give evidence. The defense barrister says he needs a full day and a half to cross-examine the Duke of Sussex about 33 Mirror Group newspaper articles allegedly the product of phone hacking and blagging. Barristers for Prince Harry says his claim is very significant, relating to a 15-year period between 1996 to 2011, representing the broadest range of unlawful activity. He says Mirror Group newspapers used 30 different private investigators, Jesus Christ, to unlawfully gather his private information because the ends justified the means. Court hears when Prince Harry was a teenager, every facet of his private life was published in full technicolor glory because stories about his private life drove sales. Mirror Group newspapers have in the past admitted and apologized for phone hacking, but admit just one case of unlawful information gathering against Harry in 2004 for an article about him in a nightclub. So they're admitting unlawful information gathering in every other way except for phone hacking. Like they seem so hell bent on not admitting phone hacking in particular. And if you're gonna admit to unlawful information gathering, of which phone hacking is one of those ways, why not just admit to phone hacking? I think a lot of this actually centers around Piss Moron because Piss Moron absolutely swears that he never hacked a phone. And it's almost as if they're willing to throw themselves under the bus just so that what Piss Moron can save face. If you were doing everything else, burglarizing people, putting trackers on, his girlfriend's cars, stalking him, like you were doing everything else, but you weren't phone hacking him, please. And then today, they had the agents of propaganda, like Angela Latrine and Tom Bowers, on Good Morning Britain. This is the same morning talk shows that want to tell us, don't pile on Philip Schofield, but you have straight up liars on this show piling on Prince Harry. Let's listen to what Miss Angela Latrine had to say because I think it speaks for something, and we will break it down afterwards. So, or I'll break it down as she's speaking. Boy, these people. Okay.
Completely unwise. I think when he says that this is going to be his life's work, it's even worse because I think it's tragic. I think he's also arrogant. So it's a terrible mixture.
This woman is sitting here saying that what Harry is doing is tragic and arrogant. Lady, your whole life centers around the fact that you claim to know someone who you interviewed for 15 minutes. And you now speak about Harry like you know him. That's what I call tragic and arrogant.
Together, he won't be able to answer all the questions and the attacks he's going to get from the.
How do you know? Are you Harry? Are you his defense attorney? How do you know he's not prepared and that he can't answer questions?
Top lawyers. He's had nice, soft interviews with people who don't want to upset him in case he walks out or tells them to go. So he hasn't got the experience. It's also extremely negative. His whole life now seems to be negative, going right back into the past. His mother's death is going to blame them for that, not taking into account that she didn't have a safety belt on or that the driver.
See, and this is how you know that people like Angela Latrine are agents of propaganda. Every single time they bring it back to, oh, but Diana wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Oh, but Diana was unstable. Oh, but Diana this, Diana that. Diana isn't here to speak for herself. And it's the same narrative that they have used over and over again as the years have gone on to put doubt on Diana's name and to put doubt on Harry's words now that they know that he's taken the stand. Having Angela Latrine and Tom Bower on Good Morning Britain, this is like the last push that the media has to discredit Harry. That's why those two were on Good Morning Britain this morning.
Was drunk, it's just one way of thinking. Also about Chelsea Davy, his girlfriend before her, he said they ruined that relationship. I mean, that's 13 years ago.
But if they broke the law and hacked his phone, he's not wrong to be angry or upset about that. The question is, should he be public about it?
No.
Why shouldn't he be public about it? Why shouldn't he be public about it? He has lived his whole life in the public. Pretty much the moment that boy came out of the womb, his life was public.
He shouldn't be public about it. He can get as angry as he likes, but it's not going to help him, particularly if he has mental health issues. It needs to be.
Using somebody's mental health issues to discredit them. Totally disgusting. That right there, what she just said, that's just not about Harry. That is incredibly insulting to anyone going through like any type of mental health issue, to say that they are somehow unstable or unhinged or unable to be coherent. She's basically trying to sow doubt on Harry's words or anything he has to say by focusing on his mental health. Or because he has mental health issues, should we really believe him? Like, that's pretty much the tone in which she's speaking in.
Kind to himself. He needs to be positive. He needs to look to the future. He's got a wife he still absolutely adores. He's got 2 children.
And you're mad about it. We know you're mad about it. You've done been mad about it. You're bitter as hell.
Beautiful home with 16 bathrooms and a swimming pool and a tennis court and all that.
Why does the number of bathrooms bother these people? Buckingham Palace has about 200 bathrooms.
It won't ever wipe it out, but it'll enable him to feel positive and have confidence in himself, instead of which he's just a moaning, groaning individual. Tom, I'm not sure that having completely unwise. I think
moaning and groaning individual. Is that not what you are, Angela Latrine? A moaning and groaning individual for a living. Jesus, these people. I mean, it's just like, I am not embarrassed. This is very embarrassing. Yes, Benjamin, I don't understand how anyone can go to university to have their career reduced to complaining about, complaining and being and moaning. Yes. By the way, I don't actually have the slide. I forgot to put it up today, but Viola Davis, she left a comment on HRH Sussex's Instagram. So that's a fan account that's run by Squaddy, and I think it has over 300,000 followers or something like that. So there are people actually watching the squad, folks. Viola Davis actually left a comment on that big squad. This is a Squaddy account. It's not like an official royal account. Honestly, this is why I don't think too much about who might be listening. Because I think if I actually thought about it, I'd probably censor myself more. I don't want to censor myself, so I don't think about it. Like, I don't think about who's watching me. I think I would absolutely die if I ever found out that Harry and Meghan listen to my podcast. I think I'd just die. Like, I want Harry and Meghan to just mind their business, like Tina used to say, just mind your business. The squad will be out here on these streets doing our thing. Okay, thank you so much, Alan Benon, for the super chat. You said latrine and Bauer are nothing but human toilets. Indeed, human toilets spewing out poo poo. Yes, light side, Viola. I'll put it up on the slide tomorrow so you can see it. But yeah, she actually left a comment. It was a post about Lily's birthday. That's the post that she left a comment about. Yeah, I won't say her name, but there's actually a former Brazilian politician following me. I don't know why she's following me, but apparently she's very interested in what's going on with the British royals. Okay, I think that was pretty much it. So I'll go through a few of the details that are in that Guardian article. Let me just get it up on the screen. Oh, actually, I'll read this little well, let me get Angela Latrine off the screen first. This little part that was taken from the Guardian article where it says, my colleague media editor Jim Waterson has written up this take on today's hearing, focusing on claims that under Piers Morgan's leadership, Daily Mirror reporters allegedly hacked the phone of Diana, Princess of Wales. So this is what he said. He writes, the High Court heard that Diana had regularly talked to Barrymore in the months before his death. So Drew Barrymore was a TV personality here in the UK at a time when they were two of the most famous people in Britain. The television presenter was struggling with coming out and as well as dealing with addiction to alcohol and drugs. On Monday, a phone hacking trial heard extracts from a letter in which Diana offered to support Barrymore, who was one of the nation's leading television stars. In one letter sent in early 1997, the princess provided her phone number and wrote, "Dear Michael, what joy it was to finally meet you tonight. I did want to emphasize that I'm here for you whenever." Oh, that's very sweet. It's very easy to pop round and see you, or please telephone now you have my number. You're doing just fine, and believe me, I know. So take great care and lots of love from Diana. Months later, Diana wrote again to say she was devastated that details of her supposedly secret meetings had been obtained by the Daily Mirror. She apologized to Barrymore for the leak, expressed her disgust with the tabloid press, and said she did not know how the news had come out, given nobody knew about our conversations. The court heard that Barrymore did not reply to this letter, highlighting the isolation caused by press intrusion. David Sherborne, that's Harry's barrister, in the trial against Mirror Group newspapers, said the simple explanation was journalists were working for the Daily Mirror and they had hacked Diana's voicemails. The lawyer also suggested the Daily Mirror's then editor, Piers Morgan, was disingenuous when he later wrote in his autobiography that he had heard rumors about a friendship between Diana and Barrymore. He most definitely knew that there was phone hacking going on and he was probably responsible for it. So here it comes, little by little. This is what Piers Moron has been so nervous about. And I'm wondering, really, is it really just about phone hacking? Is he really just scared about phone hacking? Because I know that he swears that he never hacked a phone, but in the if you look at the wider picture, Piers Moron has gotten away with so much that hasn't damaged his career. Would phone hacking really, be the nail in the coffin? Would it be the end of it? I'm convinced that there's something else. Publishing fake photos of British soldiers torturing Iraqis, that wasn't enough to get him cancelled. So would phone hacking get him cancelled? I mean, his cult followers just don't seem to care what this man does. And certainly those propping him up, like Murdoch, don't seem to care, continue to prop him up. And we know that he is very much in bed with Camilla and the other royals. He said himself that the royal family thanked him personally. So I believe that there's more coming, and that perhaps also the royals' dealings with the press, that could end up filtering out as well. So little by little, it has done. But there's definitely something coming. Okay. I think I'm going to end things there. Yeah, it seems like Viola is a squaddy. Commenting on squaddy accounts. Thank you, as always, everyone. You are so much appreciated. Thank you to our members, donors, and mods. Couldn't do this without you all. Oh, thank you also to Zelma V, who sent a PayPal this morning. I saw that. Thank you. Yeah, Prince Harry and Princess Meghan. Just in case you're listening, we love you guys. Of course we do. Yeah, Morgan was all over the place. And he's most definitely a phone hacker. Right. Yeah. Can't see any more comments, so we'll end it there. Tomorrow's a big day, folks. Say a prayer, and not just for Harry. Like I keep saying, this isn't just about Harry. This is about the whole of the UK press, and this could be a moment for us, especially those who live in the UK, to hold the tabloids and their press barons accountable. This is not just about Harry. It's about the everyday British person as well, who could end up being a victim of press intrusion. And if you don't have the millions to sue them, what do you do? So that's why this case deserves attention. And this is an opportunity, so let's not waste it. And with that, enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. See you tomorrow. Ciao.
Lunes, ya. 1, 2, 3, pasa el guaro. Y sin estrés, que caro. Te gustan los chicos malos. Y se te ve que ella es como Jordan. Facilito las anota. Y ella se le ve la nota. Que se mueve como loca. Ella es como Jordan. Facilito las anota. Y ella se le ve la nota. Que se mueve como loca. Yeah, esa Julieta no necesita su Romeo. A esas caderas todo le creo. Y esta manera de perreo. Bájale al fuego porque esto se puso feo. Aquí un paisita con la de Ponce. Ella la mala y apelando el bronce. Yo flow Maluma, tu flow Beyoncé. Yo pega esto pa' que sientas el roce. Con su flow gemelita de J-Lo, de J-Lo, de J-Lo. Nunca le dice que no, a que no, a que no. A perrele reggaetón, ton, reggaetón, ton. Con su flow gemelita de J-Lo, de J-Lo, de J-Lo. Nunca le dice que no, a que no, a que no. A perrele reggaetón, ton, reggaetón, ton. Ella es como Jordan, facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota, que se mueve como loca. Ella es como Jordan, facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota, que se mueve como loca. Yeah, yo le doy un flow a mi bebé la pupi. Le doy un guarito pa' que deje el tutti frutti. Pa' que no se estrese y solo me va a hacer booty. Izquierda, derecha con su movimiento sutil. Nos noquea como Loya en el ring. Nunca pasa moda como la era de los memes. De toda la peli ella es la mejor sin. Sabe destacar y eso que no sea Supreme. Con su flow gemelita de J-Lo, de J-Lo, de J-Lo. Nunca le dice que no, a que no, a que no. A perrele reggaetón, ton, reggaetón, ton. Con su flow gemelita de J-Lo, de J-Lo, de J-Lo. Nunca le dice que no, a que no, a que no. A perrele reggaetón, ton, reggaetón, ton. Ella es como Jordan, facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota, que se mueve como loca. Ella es como Jordan,